you've talked about funding.
Yes.
About how you've spent so much money. Okay, look at this environment, for example. The last time I was here, it was still under construction. We had the last media chat in
someplace
that looks like an old building. But now there's this state-of-the-art palatial, sprawling, almost like a whole town where the government house is. How much did you borrow on behalf of the people of Anambra to build this expansive edifice? And how many generations will it take for India Anambra to be able to pay back?
Thank you very much. Two quick things, just to keep it simple. Since we arrived 4 years ago, we have not borrowed one kobo from any commercial bank, not owing anything. So that started. We wanted to make a statement of that. As a matter of fact, our mantra here is doing more with less. Extraordinary, extreme prudence is the thing that we, as I said in my inaugural address, I have some questions I ask in using the state funds. One of them is, if this is my hard-earned money, will I spend it this way? This is my hard-earned money, will I spend it this way? And this has been very, very, and this expenditure, if we gather the taxpayers in a room, would they be comfortable with it? So that's the issue of borrowing and whatever and so on. We have had to do massive re-engineering of finances, put back our finances on a path of sustainability. We even cleared backlog of arrears of gratuity that were owed to staff retirees from the state government and the local government for 4 years before I arrived, a cumulative of about 22 billion. We've paid all of those and still been able to deliver, like the infrastructure thing. No government in the history of this place has delivered that in 8 years. None. I mean, it's just clear. And in many sectors, health, education, and so on and so forth. It's just doing more, razor focused on making sure that we account for every penny. Now, the house itself is built to last. Because, you know, the White House, the American White House, will be 234 years this year. 234 years. And that's about the very first place you got to start. You must have a home for the government where you can even think. You can't be talking about Dubai, Taiwan, somewhere, and the government itself is in a makeshift house. You know where the government house was for 34 years? The government house was at the yard of the contractor that built Enugu-Onitsha Road in the 80s, Giuliani or something, where they had their parking yard with prefabricated buildings. So when Anambra was created in 1991, they said, okay, let's start here temporarily. And where is the governor going to live? Oh, somewhere in Amobia, some temporary place. Let's stay here. And for 34 years, they got stuck there. Even this whole place that was designated initially to be the place to build it had been allocated over the years to private individuals. And many had developed them.
Wow.
Oh yes, we had to relocate a whole lot of them and demolished quite massive number of them. Because we had to ask ourselves the question, if not now, when? If not us, who? Otherwise, Anambra would never, ever have a government house again and a governor's lodge. And we had to take that hard decision. And like I said, with an eye on the long term, that the next 100 years, the next 200 years, the next 300 years, generations unborn, governments will come and go, but you'll have a convenient place where government sits to transact business. It's on 28 hectares of land, literally a mini city within a city. Everything is here. And for me, I have 3 years, few months to live. And the next person comes, spends 8 years, Because I'm counting the days. I'm counting down already.
Just for clarification, the old government house, because we went there today
Yes.
as well. What's going to happen to that place?
Oh, that place, that old government house plus all the surrounding area, it's about 13,000 plus place. It's our new innovation district. That's our own Silicon Valley.
Oh.
You must have seen the first iconic building coming up there. It will be commissioned in some months to come. That whole area, many of those rickety buildings that they had as a government house, we're leveling them down. And some private investors are also indicating interest, to come in to build. That's going to be the heart of innovation, business incubation, and so on and so forth in this state. So, so short answer.
Yes.
Not a couple borrowed.